Only by the grace of God I'm alive today, and I also thank God for giving me ability to walk. We had a very happy life in 2007. Early in January, I found out that I had severe pain in my left groin and also my left leg. And in the next few months, I followed up with the doctor. And in September, I had a hysterectomy, thinking that was the reason for my pain. I just found out a week later that the pain never went. And I just felt like my life was falling apart. I was very happy at my work. I was busy with the kids and home and had a full life, but I never had time for God. At that point, my life started to fall apart, and I still had the pain. Further tests and MRIs, I found out that I had a tumor on my spine, just where all the nerves spurted out. And the neurosurgeon told me that the tumor has to be removed, and there's a possibility that I won't be able to walk again, and also it's life-threatening surgery, and there are other complications. I felt very sad, and I decided to go back to India at that point because I had no help here. And I took the kids and went to India. We didn't want to have the surgery. We prayed, and we just left it in Lord's hands. But in January, I found out that the tumor had increased in size, and my pain had increased, and I started to feel numbness on the left side of my body. We went and met with a neurosurgeon, and he told us that the surgery had to be done immediately, otherwise I would go into paralysis. And if I'm paralyzed, they can't do anything. So my parents and all my family prayed, and we decided that I should have the surgery. The appointment was for the surgery was booked for January the 8th, and we went on 7th to get ourselves admitted. And at that point, I really was so sick and depressed. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to have the surgery. I was very scared because I just went through a major surgery a few months back. But because my parents and everyone said it's okay for me to go have the surgery, I trusted, and then we went to the hospital. We were not happy, my mom and myself. We were very uncomfortable at the hospital, and we actually got up and walked out of there. We told them that we'll come back tomorrow, and we went home. I didn't have any hopes at that point. I didn't want to go through the surgery. My parents prayed and convinced me. All my relatives too, they talked to me. My sisters and their families and my friends, they tried to convince me and asked me to go back to the surgery. I prayed and I said, I'll leave everything to God and I'll go for the surgery. I even wrote a note for my husband what to do if I die, with the kids and the finances and everything. And the next day, early morning, my mom and myself, they were going to the hospital, and my mom takes out her cell phone and she starts calling all her friends, asking them to pray for me. And one of her friends, she called one of her friends, Rosalind, and told her also to pray for me. A few minutes later, she called us back, telling us that the Lord has given me Isaiah 31:5, and she told me to claim that verse. So I immediately took my Bible, read the verse, and throughout the day I kept reading the verse. And it reads, like the birds flying about, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending, he will also deliver it. Passing over, he will preserve it. I read that verse throughout the day and claimed it, and also praised Lord, because at that point I didn't have any hope that I'm going to make it. But I prayed throughout the day, and I said, Lord, I'm going to go through the surgery because I trust in you. And also that since my parents and everybody else is praying so much, all my friends and my sister's friends and their churches and my family, my kids, everybody was praying for me a lot. So I trust in prayer, and also I trust you, so I'm going to go through with this. So we went. So I went to this. They took me to the operation theater. I was not able to breathe very well. My pulse rate was very high, very high. So the doctor was not able to put me down. So he kept telling me, trust in me. And I told him, I trust in God. And I only hope in the Lord. If at all, if it's His will, I'm going to make it through this. And when I closed my eyes, I remember I could hear my pulse rate in the theater. And when I closed my eyes, I felt absolutely peaceful, because I saw myself in a miniature form lying down there, and so many people were working on me. And I saw over my head a huge figure protecting me. I tried to look up. It was white and absolutely peaceful. I couldn't see the top because it reached the sky. It was a huge white form, which almost the sides of it was holding even the sides of my bed, and covered. What I can recall is just a huge figure protecting me. It was absolutely white and peaceful. That's all I remember throughout the surgery. When I woke up, I found out that I was recovering from my surgery, and I was able to move my legs, and I am perfectly normal. I am able to walk and do everything normal. I thank God for this miracle. This is a huge miracle in my life, more than a healing. He has showed me His way back, that I'm much closer to God now. I'm able to recognize He's the most important thing in my life, and without God I'm nothing. And I thank God for bringing me back to Him and helping me, giving me salvation. That is the greatest miracle I have in this. I thank all my family, my parents and my sisters, my brother-in-laws, my nieces and nephews, and my kids who prayed and went through this whole thing with me and their support, and all the churches and friends who prayed for me and their support. I thank you all very much, and salvation is the greatest miracle. Praise the Lord.